Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm from San Francisco, California. And freedom is the ability to express yourself, to be yourself fully, and not feel oppressed, judged, or be discriminated against in any way.
Hey, what's up? My name is Celia Au, and freedom to me is peace. Living without conflict, living without anger, living without sorrow, and in the end of the day, living in harmony with the world and Hakuna Matata.
What's up, Link? I'm Jason Chu here in Los Angeles, California. To me, freedom means humanity, being allowed to be fully human, to make our own decisions, whether right or wrong, without anyone else telling us what to do or who to be.
At the end of World War II, a new country that the world would know as North Korea was birthed. The new state was infused at conception with a dangerous ideological cocktail of authoritarianism, nationalism, and militarism. Just 5 years after taking power, Kim Il-sung attacked the South in an attempt to reunify Korea by force. Conflict engulfed the peninsula for 3 years, costing the lives of millions of people. After fighting to a draw, the regime focused its attention back inside the country. Extreme socialist ideology drove the government towards total control of the economy and society, with cradle-to-grave propaganda designed to secure the people's loyalty, and even the slightest flicker of dissent crushed with brutal repression. In the South, students were able to rise up and force the dictatorial Syngman Rhee out of power. The South Korean people struggled with authoritarian leaders for decades, finally achieving democracy in the 1980s. But even as South Korea rose to become an innovation powerhouse, North Korea's leaders clung to their ideologies and created the most closed information environment on the planet, isolating their people from the progress happening beyond their borders. Pyongyang's nuclear tests and threats to the outside world always grab the media's attention, but it's the North Korean people who face the biggest threat of all. In the 1990s, North Korea's socialist economy collapsed, triggering a devastating famine that changed the relationship between the government and the people forever. The North Korean people had to get creative to survive, so they took the economy into their own hands and started trading in new markets known as Jangmadang. As people started to move within the country and across the border into China, the Jangmadang became a place of exchange for new information and ideas, as well as technologies that accelerated the erosion of the regime's ideologies. Despite the ever-present threat of brutal repression, the North Korean people were starting to break the rules and open up their country from the inside. And the generation that grew up through this time of turbulence is now emerging as the greatest force of change that North Korea has ever seen.
여행할 수는 있는데 그게 북한과 그 나라 사이의 관계가 되게 좋을 때만이 할 수가 있어요. 근데 한국 사람들은 최근에는 북한과의 관계가 안 좋아지면서 여행을 할 수 없게 되었어요.
북한 사람과 한국 사람은 이 나라를 배반한 사람, 너는 적대 국가라고 생각하는 경우가 있기 때문에 북한을 여행할 수 없고, 간다고 하면 오직 중국에 있는 장백산을 통해서 백두산을 볼 수밖에 없습니다.
저도 참 북한에 가고 싶지만 그런 죽는다는 두려움이 있기 때문에 갈 수가 없고, 앞으로 통일이 되면 그때 제가 살던 지역에 가서 저의 향수를 마음껏 누리고 싶습니다. 북한에서는 하고 싶은 게 있어도 마음대로 할 수 없고, 또 어디 가고 싶은 곳이 있어도 마음대로 갈 수 없습니다. 한국이나 미국에서는 여행 가고 싶으면 비행기를 타고 가도 되고, 또 아니면은 국내에 가고 싶으면 차를 운전해서 5시간 갈 수도 있고 한데, 북한에서는 해외로 여행 가는 것도 막혀 있고, 또 국내로 가는 것도 갈 수는 있지만 갈 때마다 그 북한 정부의 수락을 받아야 됩니다. 그래서 북한 사람들은 모든 자유를 박탈당하고 있습니다.
북한 사람들 삶은 거의 노예나 다름없어요. 직장에 취직을 해도 자기가 원하는 직장을 취직할 수가 없고, 국가에서 취직을 시켜주는데 월급도 한 달 월급이 쌀 1kg도 살 수 없는 그 가격이었고, 배급조차로 준다고는 하지만 거의 주는 데가 없어요.
저는 10년 전에 나와서 지금은 좀 달랐어요. 그래서 제가 했을 때는 먹을 것이 없어서 제가 하루에 2끼를 먹는다거나 아니면 그 먹는 것 자체가 풀로 먹었던 적이 많은데요. 그래서 삶은 많이 배고프기도 하고 힘들기도 하지만, 그런 반면에 그 속에서 나누기도 하고 또 힘들 땐 같이 의지도 하면서 살았던 적이 있어서, 배고픔도 있지만 같이 사람들의 인간미가 넘치는 두 가지로 나눌 수 있었습니다.
Hi, I'm AJ Raphael from Los Angeles, California. Freedom to me is being able to go to any park, sit on any bench, under any tree, write a song, and eventually play that song for people around the world.
Hi, it's Jen Che here. I am living in LA and I've been supporting Link since 2014. Freedom to me is all about having dreams for yourself and having the opportunity to be able to run after those dreams. And it's also about being able to say what you want to say and love who you want to love. Thank you guys.
Hey y'all, Jason Wiley from Jubilee here, and to me, freedom means being able to dream and being able to achieve any dream that you want, and also being able to love whoever you want, including this one. Yay!
북한 사람들이 지금 많이 탈북을 하고 있는데, 탈북하다 중국에서 인신매매를 당한다거나 북송되는 경우도 많습니다. 이런 거를 못하도록 막아주시고요.
저희 사진을 찍어서 인스타그램이나 SNS에 올려서 많은 사람들이 알게 하는 방법도 있고, 또 언론에 퍼뜨려서 사람들이 저희를 알게 하는 방법도 있어요. 그리고 중국으로 탈출하는 과정에 그 많은 비용이 드는데, 그 비용을 기부하는 단체들도 있어요. 그곳에 기부를 하는 방법도 있어요.
소셜 미디어나 인터넷을 활용해서 북한 사람들의 실상을 많은 사람들한테 대수로 알리는 것도 좋고요. 북한의 정보 유입이 필요한 상황이기 때문에 북한의 정보 유입을 하는 단체에 도와주셔도 좋을 것 같아요. 사람들에게 많은 정보를 미디어나 또 라디오, TV를 통해서 전달해 주는 것이 북한 사람들에게 자유를 주는데 도움이 된다고 생각합니다.
been called the Red Box, a mysterious country infamous for its nuclear weapons and dictators. It looks hopeless and unchanging, a ruthless regime ruling through fear and oppression, unlike any other place on the planet. But that North Korea isn't the whole story anymore. And that's because of the North Korean people. They're shaking up the status quo and challenging the regime's control. They know that liberty will not be given, it must be won. And so do we. We're a global movement working with the North Korean people. This movement isn't about high-sounding words. It's about action and momentum. It's about seeing the North Korean people achieve their liberty. Because every refugee we rescue, every North Korean empowered to speak up, and every person who demands freedom for the people means liberty is no longer impossible. It is inevitable. And together, we're one step closer to the day when every man, woman, and child in North Korea is free. Welcome to the movement.
Hello, everyone. Wherever you might be joining us from, welcome to a night of freedom. My name is Justin Wheeler, and I will be your host this evening. I've been involved with Link for over a decade, first helping to refound the organization back in 2009, and now serving on the board. I've had the privilege to host Link's annual gala for the last 4 years, and when I heard we were taking this year's event online, I was so excited because I thought that would mean Zoom attire. You all know what I'm talking about. Business up top, party on the bottom. But of course, the boss said no. More importantly, I knew it meant people from around the world would be joining us to hear the stories of the North Korean people and helping us raise critical funds to make sure this important work continues. Because we have pretty bold vision and firm belief that the North Korean people will achieve their liberty, and it will be in our lifetime. But before we jump into things, just a couple quick housekeeping tips. If the live stream freezes for you at any point tonight, go ahead and just give it a good old refresh. I know that's not the most technical solution, but it usually does the trick. Also, if you have any friends or family who want to join but didn't RSVP, just share your page with them and they could join too. We have an exciting program tonight, and our goal is to raise $500,000. Last week, we raised over $490,000 from our East Coast event, so I know we can blow them out of the water. We're already well on our way, and thanks to those of you who've already donated before tonight's event even began. We also have an opportunity to unlock a very large gift tonight. As soon as we raise $50,000 during this live stream, a generous donor will also make a $500,000 gift. So go ahead, $50,000 gift, sorry, 50,000, which is still quite enormous. So if you want to give tonight, it's very simple. You don't even have to leave the page you're on. You can also share your fundraising pages on social media and ask your friends and family to join in on the giving. Anyone who makes a donation tonight will be entered into a raffle to win a Link swag bag. And of course, stay right here with us to hear some powerful stories and meet some of our North Korean friends. We'll have a very special guest joining us live in studio at the end of tonight, so be sure to stick around till the end. We also can't get too much further into the night without thanking some of our very important sponsors. We want to give a big thanks to RFA, O'Melveny, Karani, 3Q Digital, Rutan Tucker, Callista Wu, and Alpha Paving Industries. We also want to thank our incredible Night of Freedom West Coast Committee, Gloria Lee, Chair of the committee, Callista Wu, Scott Savino, Esther Park, Peter Lee, John Park, and Wani Park. Thank you all so much for the incredible support. Many of you who are joining us tonight are longtime supporters, but if you're new to Link, here's who we are and what we do in 30 quick seconds. Liberty in North Korea is a nonprofit organization and a global movement that believes every man, woman, and child in North Korea deserves to live a free and full life. We work alongside the North Korean people in their pursuit of freedom by helping North Korean refugees escape through a 3,000-mile secret rescue route. We empower North Koreans who have reached freedom to be changemakers, advocates, and leaders on this issue. And we work together to create long-term strategies for change. Throughout the next hour, you're going to learn a lot more about the work we do and hear stories from some of our North Korean friends. You'll also notice that tonight we have a theme. We're focusing on what freedom means to our North Korean friends. The reason they're willing to risk their lives and leave behind the only home they've never known in pursuit of it. And so I asked, what does freedom mean to you? What would you be willing to risk for it? And what sacrifices would you make? Let's tune in to see how some of you answered that question.
Hi everyone, I'm Helen.
I'm Janet.
And I'm Mel, and we're the hosts of the Asian Boss Girl podcast.
To us, freedom means the ability to share our personal stories as Asian American women unapologetically.
It is also the ability to exercise our right to vote as women of color.
Hi, my name is Julian Joseph. I'm originally from Austin, Texas, but now living in San Diego, California. To me, freedom is being able to eat as much pizza as I want, and also being able to travel freely to visit my friends in Japan and Korea and many other places around the world.
Oh, hi there. This is Phil Rosenthal from Somebody Feed Phil. And to me, freedom is the ability to go wherever you want, whenever you want, anywhere in the world. Can't wait for that to happen again. Isn't that right, Murray? Yes, Murray. What a good boy.
In my life, I know I've taken freedom for granted. I never would think twice about traveling and visiting family who are just hours away from me. But for everyday people inside North Korea, they don't have that basic right. I'm in awe of the North Korean people, of their bravery and resilience, and also because I do not know if I'd be able to make the same very difficult and dangerous decisions many of them have had to make in order to achieve their freedom. But as long as North Koreans continue to escape this regime, we will be there to support them and help them reach freedom. And we are committed to working towards the day when 25 million North Korean people can live in freedom. So tonight, we're raising funds to ensure that this critical work can continue in order to help as many North Korean refugees as possible to reach freedom and to empower them in their new lives, to raise up a generation of North Korean storytellers, advocates, and leaders to help change the narrative on North Korea and help us develop strategies to accelerate that change. We're going to start off with a never-before-seen piece of media, a short film that highlights the harsh realities and challenges the North Korean people face inside that country. We're all familiar with North Korean threats to the outside world, but it's actually the North Korean people who face the biggest threat of all. A 2014 UN report confirmed that systemic and widespread human rights violations are being committed against the North Korean people by their very own government. Things like murder, torture, and sexual violence. Violations of freedom of movement, expression, and religion, the right to food, and even the right to life. Ordinary North Koreans cannot freely share their opinions, access the internet, or of the outside world. They can't watch or share Hollywood movies without the risk of facing forced labor, torture, or even execution. In order to maintain control, the North Korean regime has stripped 25 million people of their power and potential through a system of isolation, indoctrination, and brutal repression. This next video gives us an alternative glimpse of what that looks like. I do want to warn you that this video is not recommended for children under the age of 13. This would be a good time for them to step out for just a few minutes and then rejoin afterwards. The rest of the night will be family friendly.
Babe, can you turn it up? This is the best part. Just go closer. They already searched this building yesterday. Well, thank you, Mr. Dry and Brittle, but you ruined the moment.
Isn't this our moment?
So
right here? You, me,
so
my little Amelie.
No. Oh, you little Amelie. Your bones are not made of glass, no. You can take life's hard knocks, can you not?
Yeah, so?
Come and get him.
Police, open up! Police! Police! Come down! Show your hands! Sit down! Get on your knees, on your stomach, now! Get on the floor! Stop moving! Put your hands behind your back. Good? Secure, secure! Alpha clear, clear. All right, start SSC, let's go. Take the case too. Carlos, kitchen!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are gathered here to witness the executions of Daniel and Ashley Winters. On August 16th, the criminals were arrested for watching and distributing foreign media. They have been found guilty as charged in their indictment. Daniel Winters, you have been sentenced to death. This sentence shall be carried out immediately.
Detail! Right face! Ready! Aim! Fire! Fire!
This punishment is a reminder that watching and spreading foreign media in our country are crimes of the utmost seriousness and a threat to this state's security. Ashley Winters, you have been sentenced to death. This sentence shall be carried out immediately.
Every time I watch that film, the reality of North Korea hits me all over again. And I'm reminded of when I first learned about this issue. In 2007, I took a trip to the border of North Korea and China where I met a young woman named Mi-sun. She was orphaned in North Korea when she was only 11 years old and was left caring for her 2 younger siblings. In a desperate attempt to find a way to support them, she decided to make the dangerous escape into China. But like so many other North Korean women, she was trafficked as soon as she crossed the border. At the age of 12, she was sold to a man who was more than 20 years older than her. When I met her, she was 22 and was still owned by this man. She told me he would loan her out to karaoke bars and that she sometimes had to work doing online sex chatting. I felt so hopeless because there was nothing I could do to help her. But I came back to the States determined to tell her story and to eventually find a way to help other North Korean women avoid that same fate. I joined Liberty in North Korea, and together we found a way to help North Korean refugees escape safely from China, helping them flee from these situations of exploitation and trafficking and from the risk of being sent back to North Korea. Even today, there are thousands of North Koreans who risk their lives to escape their country, but are stuck hiding in China, searching for a way out. The Chinese government refuses to recognize North Koreans as refugees and instead cooperates with the North Korean government to hunt them down and forcibly send them back to an unimaginable punishment. A fate that is so bad that many defectors have told us that they will bring poison or razors with them on their journey, ready to end their lives if they are caught. For women like Mi-sun, her dreams of freedom turn into nightmares of exploitation and forced marriage. One of the things I'm most proud of is our work with North Korean refugees. Liberty in North Korea's 3,000-mile secret rescue routes are a modern-day underground railroad helping North Korean refugees reach freedom. It is a commitment we made to create a safe escape route from China to Southeast Asia that would help North Korean refugees reach freedom, would treat them with dignity and respect, and would be without cost or condition. To date, we have been able to help over 1,000 North Korean refugees safely escape and make it to South Korea or the United States to begin their new lives. It's so crazy to think about 1,000 people who risked everything and today are finally living in freedom, many of them with new identities and hopes and an opportunity to finally pursue their dreams. But that would not have been possible if it weren't for the incredible support of so many of you all around the world who have invested in the protection and potential of the North Korean people. This next video features one of our North Korean friends, Noelle. She joined Link in 2008 as an advocacy fellow, and today she's on staff in our South Korea office as part of our post-resettlement team.
뭔가 나의 삶의 이야기를 써야 되는데 어디서부터 어떻게 써야 되는지에 대한 건 저한테는 지금도 사실 과제이고, 이게 사실 자유를 경험하지 못한 사람한테서 나오는 되게 그냥 일반적인 저는 행동이라는 생각이 드는데, 안녕하세요. 제 이름은 김노엘이고요. 저는 함경북도 온성에서 태어났고 2010년에 탈북을 했습니다. 어릴 때부터 제 생각을 자유롭게 표현하는 연습을 했으면 하얀 백지가 나왔을 때 제 생각을 자유롭게 표현을 했을 텐데, 사실 그런 연습이 전혀 되어 있지 않고 그랬던 기억이 없기 때문에, 사실 제가 북한에 있을 때는 이게 자유다, 이게 자유라는 개념이다 라는 생각은 별로 없었고요. 왜냐면 자유로운 삶을 살아본 적이 한 번도 없기 때문에, 그래서 뭐 자유롭게 글을 쓰는 것도 안 됐었고, 저의 지역에는 도서관도 없다 보니까 제가 읽고 싶은 책을 자유롭게 읽는 것도 안 됐었고, 뭐 왜 낱말은 새가 듣고 반말은 쥐가 듣는다라는 말이 되게 굉장히 이렇게 어떤 공통적인 표현이거든요. 그래서 우리의 이야기를 누군가 듣고 있을 수도 있다라는 건 항상 그냥 내재되어 있는 공포 같은 거죠. 이 친구는 정말 나의 믿을 수 있는 친구다라는 걸 저는 조금 못한 편인데, 그 이유는 저희는 아빠가 먼저 탈북을 하셨고 엄마랑 제가 남아서 살았었기 때문에 사실 감시 속에 살았어요. 그러다 보니까 뭐 친구 그리고 가까운 사람한테도 막 우리의 생각을 표현하는 게 사실 쉽진 않았었고, 그러다 보니까 어느 사람이 어떻게 우리를 감시하고 있는지에 대한 걸 저희가 모르잖아요. 그래서 좀 더 저의 어떤 이야기를 뭔가 다른 사람한테 얘기하는 건 더 어려웠었죠. 저 더 넓은 세상이 있지만 저 세상에서 우리가 살 수 있다라는 생각은 한 번도 해본 적이 없거든요. 뭔가 자유가 없었잖아요. 없다가 자유가 생겼을 때 이 사람들이 가지는 가능성이 저는 정말 많다라는 생각이 있거든요. 제가 왜 목소리를 내야 되는지에 대한 이유는 왜냐면 지금 북한에 있는 사람들은 사실 목소리를 낼 만한 기회가 없는 거잖아요. 그래서 그들의 목소리를 우리가 좀 대변을 해줘야 된다라는 생각을 많이 했던 것 같아요. 그래서 자유가 없던 곳에서 자유가 있는 곳으로 와서 이 자유를 가장 아름답게 사용하는 방법이 우리의 목소리를 먼저 내서 그들의 목소리를 대변해 주는 것이었던 것 같아요. 일단 글이 가지고 있는 힘은 그냥 모두가 다 알 거라고 생각해요. 왜 그 사람들의 모든 이야기를 다 대변할 수도 없는 거고, 그렇지만 제가 할 수 있는 건 되게 사람 사는 이야기를 전달하고 싶다라는 생각이 있거든요. 그리고 사람 사는 세상은 다 사실 같잖아요. 자유란 제 생각을 글로 쓰고 표현하는 것입니다.
Seeing Noelle's story reminds me of why nights like tonight are so important. Speaking of important, let's check in on our progress so far. Wow, over 450 people have contributed so far. We have raised over $272,000. Give it up. Thank you so much for the incredible generosity. And just to name a few, thank you Sam, Lisa, Mark, Melanie, Ethan, Hannah, Isabella. Thank you all so much for making very generous contributions. And it's also equally as exciting to see people tuning in from all around the world. We have people watching from Panama, Malaysia, South Africa, Brazil, Quebec, Michigan, Poland, Texas, and India. So let me share some amounts where you can make a huge impact as you think about making a contribution. So let's start with $50. This amount here can provide a phone during one of our rescue missions. Now this phone provides critical communication between the group being rescued and our partners and staff on the ground. $100 can provide safe shelter for one night in China for an entire family. This could be the difference between having a place to rest and hide or being caught. $500 can provide a community event for resettled refugees in South Korea. I've had a chance to be a part of these events in Seoul, and not only are they always so fun and inspiring, but I love seeing our North Korean friends connecting with each other, and most importantly, being able to find community and support. $1,000 can help one North Korean refugee move safely through the most dangerous part of the border after their escape from North Korea. We call this area the red zone. Once refugees make it safely through the red zone, they can join one of our rescue missions. $2,000 can provide one COVID relief grant, offering urgent support to our North Korean friends who have lost their jobs or in need of financial assistance during this difficult time. And finally, this is my favorite level, $1 million. That's a ton of impact. But seriously, $3,000. This amount can rescue one North Korean refugee, helping them safely escape from China and reach freedom. So as you can think about giving tonight, remember $3,000 can bring one person to freedom. And as we think about our goal, this $50,000 match in front of us, I'm happy to report that so far we have raised $23,000 towards that match since we started this live stream. So give it up, give yourself a round of applause for the amazing support. I also wanted to share a story. A North Korean friend of ours that we rescued, her name is Ji-woo, and just last week became a US citizen and had the chance to watch our East Coast event, and shortly after made a contribution to support our work to help more North Korean refugees. So keep on giving. The donate button right below the stream. It won't stop the stream. Smash that button and give as much as you can multiple times throughout the evening. That will keep our energy up and high, so keep on giving. Now I want to bring in a special guest who's going to be joining us for the rest of the night. She and I met back in 2008 when she became Link's CEO. She spent the last 12 years leading the charge and working closely with our North Korean friends. Even if you're at home, in your living room, put your hands together and help me welcome Hannah Song.
Thank you, Justin. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Helping North Korean refugees reach freedom is truly a privilege, and we are so grateful to our North Korean friends for entrusting their lives to us in this work. What we do as an organization would not be possible without their incredible bravery or without the thousands of supporters like all of you around the world who are standing together with our North Korean friends and sharing our bold vision of liberty in North Korea. But escaping North Korea and reaching freedom is only the first part of the journey for North Korean refugees. After arriving in a new country like South Korea or the United States to begin their new lives, they continue to face enormous challenges as they adapt, catch up, learn, explore, and fulfill their ambitions and potential. Many of our North Korean friends have said that going to South Korea was like getting in a time machine and fast forwarding 50 years, because North Korea was so significantly behind the economic, technological, and social progress of South Korea. Many people arrive and realize that they lack skills that are important for success in a modern and open economy. Things like computer literacy, English language proficiency, using technology, and even learning new systems. A lot of people also face psychological issues like loneliness and anxiety because of family separation. They're worried about their families that they've left behind. Depression, identity issues, and post-traumatic stress disorder. But in spite of the numerous challenges that they face, I am constantly inspired and in awe of the resilience, hard work, and entrepreneurialism of our North Korean friends. Let's head to South Korea to learn more about the incredible work our team is doing there.
Hi, I'm Elena, and I am the Assistant Director of Programs in South Korea. As you may imagine, it is very difficult to start a new life in a completely foreign and rapidly changing environment. So we focus on building a community and encouraging North Koreans in their resettlement. Though many North Koreans are receiving a lot of benefits and resources from the government and other third-party organizations, what we focus on is to help build the right mindset and skill sets that will help them maximize their resources and be able to help them carry on and find greater stability in the long run. We focus on two areas. One is to work closely with newly resettled North Koreans, and another is to build community with North Koreans, South Koreans, Link staff and supporters, a community that regularly meets and supports and empowers each other. It is important to support North Koreans as they resettle here in South Korea, especially when it comes to self-discovery, because they've left everything they've known, everything that defined who they were as people, and they're here now in South Korea where it is one of the most rapidly changing environments. And so to be able to discuss and let them know that they still matter and they have a lot of strengths that they could capitalize upon to set new goals and pursue new opportunities is amazing to see, and it's really an honor.
Hi, my name is Dahyun. I'm a program coordinator here at Liberty North Korea Seoul office. So this program called Advocacy Fellows Program, we basically help them to really use their voice to change the narrative of North Korean issues, and by doing so, they actually see the potentials of themselves. So it is really important to work alongside the young North Korean leaders because they are the agent of these changes that is happening inside of North Korea.
Hi, I'm Sakil, and I'm the South Korea Country Director for Link. Young North Koreans in South Korea, a lot of them very quickly go to university and they start to study and pursue their ambitions through that. A lot of them very quickly find work as well, and sometimes they'll save up money and then start their own businesses. And being fully contributing members of society here, and even beyond that, a lot of young North Koreans are stepping up as leaders and advocates on this issue. And so we see North Koreans going on YouTube and using the power of their voice and using media to change the narrative on North Korea. We see a lot of North Koreans directly becoming activists and also working with our organization, Liberty in North Korea, here on the ground in South Korea in order to mobilize more international support, more allies for the North Korean people. And I think one of the most valuable things as well on the ground here has been seeing the impact of young people from North Korea and young people from South Korea be able to get to know each other as peers, learn from each other, discuss these issues that face both North Koreans and South Koreans here in the Korean Peninsula, and then take responsibility, become empowered to see themselves as agents of change, not just watchers of these problems, but people that can do something about it, and then to go into their communities and then actually do that. And so that's been one of the most amazing things for me to see through our work on the ground here in South Korea. On behalf of the team here on the ground in South Korea, I do want to thank you for your support for the North Korean people and for making this work possible. Thank you.
Over 1,000 North Korean refugees who were rescued through our networks have resettled in South Korea and in the United States. Our resettlement teams have hosted community gatherings and welcome orientations. They've done home visits to welcome newly arriving refugees and provided them with critical resources, coached them in important new skills, and have introduced them to our LINK community. Nearly 200 resettled refugees have been part of LINK's empowerment programs that have provided opportunities to study abroad, receive English tutoring, attend coding boot camps, participate in leadership and advocacy programs, and also receive scholarships. We've had the privilege of seeing so many of our North Korean friends accomplishing incredible things, starting their own businesses and graduating from university, being invited to speak all over the world, including at the UN, on the TED stage, and even at the White House. Many of them have gotten married and started families, and now there is a new generation of North Korean children who have been born fully in freedom and will be able to define what their freedom means to them.
Hi, I'm Susie and I'm from Minneapolis, and what freedom means to me is having the ability to live our lives in our own way. Breaking out into dance in the middle of this video, or eating ice cream for breakfast, or having this be the first time I'm wearing real clothes in 6 months.
Hi everyone, my name is Mason from North Korea. Right now, I serve in the US military. To me, freedom is the ability to choose how to give back to society. Thank you.
Hey everyone, this is Britt Robinson coming to you from Washington, D.C. Freedom is seeing injustice in the world and knowing that you can do something about it. You can change it, and at the end of the day, you'll be okay.
Hi, I'm George.
And I'm Bev.
And
we're from Dallas, Texas.
Freedom to me is living in the USA. Even with all its flaws, the United States of America is still one of the best countries in the world to live.
The things that mean freedom to me are the same things that mean happiness to me. Having a garden, going on long walks, watching sunsets, dreaming, sharing ideas, planning for the future, being able to go to the doctor if I need to, and playing ball with our dog, Theo.
Yay!
All right, 2020 has been a difficult year for all of us. From toilet paper shortages, to skipped birthday parties, to the fear of losing loved ones, and to financial uncertainty, we've all had to adjust to a new normal. And this reality is no different for the North Korean people. The challenges they would normally face have been further exacerbated by COVID. Typhoons and flooding have increased food insecurity for millions of North Korean people. And in an effort to prevent coronavirus from entering the country, North Korea closed its borders at the beginning of this year. This has massively impacted trade and the movement of goods across the border. North Korea has also imposed a shoot-to-kill order at the border, making it almost impossible for people to escape. It was reported back in May that a couple that was trying to defect was caught and executed. Additionally, due to COVID, the Chinese government also implemented strict lockdowns at the start of the year, increasing security, restricting travel, and thus having an impact on our ability to conduct our rescue work. And in South Korea, the impact of COVID has meant an even more lonely resettlement experience. Local resettlement centers were closed, so this lack of support left many newly arriving North Korean refugees without critical support. I mean, resettling in South Korea outside of a pandemic is already pretty daunting, particularly because most North Koreans, they don't have a strong social support system, and they don't really know anyone when they arrive. I think this year in particular, this notion of loneliness and isolation resonates a bit more with all of us. but many of us have been able to find creative ways to connect with our friends and family. And it's a stark reminder that for our North Korean friends, pandemic or not, many are not able to communicate or ever speak with their families after escaping. Our North Korean friends are fully aware that we are all going through unprecedented circumstances. However, many of them have waited for so long to live a new life in freedom, but are now being told to stay at home and wait. They've delayed pursuing their hopes and dreams, and this uncertainty can, of course, be discouraging. For others, they are so worried about their family and friends in China and in North Korea. Some have been laid off, or they've seen their businesses get hurt as a result of COVID. You know, in many ways, they share the same anxieties that we all feel. However, many of our North Korean friends have shown incredible resilience and positivity. One woman decided to use her spare time and energy to make beautiful masks for others. She sent 100 masks that she'd made to our office to make sure that we were taken care of and that we were protected. This year, we've had to change the way we operate and to find alternative ways to support our North Korean friends, but it has not slowed us down. Although our rescue work continues to be on pause until the situation on the ground improves and it's safe to move people again, we've redirected our resources and our attention to our resettlement efforts to provide unique ways to support our North Korean friends during this challenging time.
My name is Emma Blackery, and freedom to me is being able to sit here in my home without fear, telling you how I feel about freedom, knowing what true freedom is, and not feeling fear of any repercussion for talking about it.
Hi, my name is Ben Chung from Los Angeles, California, and freedom to me is not being held captive by any person, by any thought, or by anything, and to live your life fully as you are meant to.
Hi, my name is Megan Lee. I'm an actor, singer, songwriter, and to me, freedom means getting to do what you love.
Hi, my name is Henny. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and to me, freedom is taking the old pooch out for a walk. To me, freedom is scratches.
Before we bring in our next guest, I want to do a quick check on our progress bar. We have already raised $316,000. Give yourself a round of applause. Please continue donating, and remember that you can always donate more than once. I've seen it happening already tonight, and it makes me very happy. All right. Our next guest was on screen earlier tonight sharing what freedom means to her. Noelle escaped North Korea with her mom and resettled in South Korea in 2010. Today, she's part of Link's post-resettlement team in South Korea, welcoming newly arriving North Koreans and providing support and assistance in their resettlement. I had an opportunity to get to know Noelle a few years ago when she was a Link Advocacy Fellow, and let me tell you, she is a fierce and deeply compassionate and introspective soul. Let's welcome Noelle, who is joining us from South Korea for a brief chat. All right. Hi, Noelle. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi.
Hello, everyone.
So, Noelle, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. I want to ask you a few questions that I think a lot of people are probably pretty curious about. So let's get started. After resettling in South Korea, what was the most surprising thing about your new life in South Korea?
The most surprising thing for me was that there is electricity 24/7 in South Korea. Back in my hometown, we rarely had electricity. It was always pitch dark at night. We only get power on special days like Kim's family's birthdays. But I still haven't experienced a power outage in South Korea. It's still amazing.
That is incredible. You know, even though you have a new life in South Korea, I know that you still think about North Korea a lot. What do you miss the most?
I miss friends who I grew up with. We are friends since birth. but I had to leave them all behind when I left North Korea. I haven't heard anything about them since I left, whether they are studying, working, or getting married. I wonder how they are doing now.
Noel, I can't imagine how difficult that must be to lose all of those precious relationships when you left North Korea all of a sudden. I really hope that someday you'll be able to go back to North Korea and to see your friends again. And I hope that I'll be there with you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that you have joined our post-resettlement team in South Korea, because that means that you're able to share and support newly resettling North Koreans with your own experiences because you've resettled yourself. So I wonder, what's your favorite part about your job?
What I love most about my work is that it's more than just helping fellow North Korean refugees with their resettlement process. We get to invest in their potential, and that helps even more people in North Korea. This gives me so much joy.
Yes, absolutely. All right, what is the hardest part of your job then?
I meet people who struggle with resettling in a new society. They face challenges like loneliness, leaving family member behind, getting unwanted attention because of their accent, or trying to get a job. I understand how they feel, but I try to remind them that not everyone makes a life-risking decision in their lives, but they all went through it and survived. They are amazing. So I believe that it's my job to help them realize that they have more than enough resilience and potential to overcome any obstacle.
Absolutely. That's so incredible. Thank you so much, Noel, for giving our friends so much hope and encouragement. All right, last question before we have to go. So 2 years ago, you had a chance to visit us here in the US as a Link Advocacy Fellow. So I want to ask, what was your favorite thing about your time here in the US?
I love the small talk culture, where you just start a conversation even with strangers. I found it delightful. It's not weird to start talking to people sitting at the next table in a restaurant. If you stay in South Korea, people will think you are weird, but I still do it.
That's so funny. I'm terrible at small talk, Noel, so you'll have to give me some tips. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me and joining me today and for sharing your experiences with all of us here. I hope you have a great day, and I can't wait to see you again soon when I can visit South Korea. Bye, Noel.
Bye.
All right. Last month, we welcomed our newest class of advocacy fellows in South Korea. Be sure to follow Link on social media to get updates on this amazing group of fellows and some upcoming events where you'll have a chance to meet them. Spoiler alert, one of them is an MMA fighter. Yeah. I'm just kidding, your screen is frozen. All right, let's tune in to hear more about what freedom means to some of you.
Hey, what's up? My name is Dan, aka Dan, and I am a big supporter of Link. To me, freedom is the ability to be able to express myself and to pursue my passions.
Hi, I'm Guilherme from Brazil, and freedom for me is to be able to share my faith without being persecuted for that reason.
Hi, this is Alex from Run River North, and freedom is my favorite line in the movie Braveheart.
All right, everybody. Earlier today, I had some time to sit down with our Link alumni and rescue teams around the country who are watching tonight's event live. Our rescue teams are Link chapters at high schools and colleges and in local communities. They share the stories of the North Korean people and raise money to fund rescues. These incredible teams are all over the world in 16 different countries, from Australia to India, Brazil to the Philippines, and I think some of you guys are tuning in right now from those countries. They have raised over $1 million by selling everything from boba to fried Oreos. These teams have funded the rescues of over 300 North Korean refugees. I'm so inspired by our supporters, and I'm excited to share our conversation with you. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to see you all. Can we start off by having each of you guys share where you're calling from and what chapter or team you're calling from?
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm calling from Seattle, Washington, and I'm a 2015 Link alum.
Hey, I'm Jessie, calling in from Richmond, BC. And yeah, hopefully gonna start a club at our school.
Hi everyone, my name is Joy and I'm calling from Los Angeles. I'm one of the co-presidents for UCLA Link.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. I'm calling in from San Francisco, California, and I'm going to be the representative for USC's Link Rescue Team.
Hi everyone, my name is Jen. I'm calling in from Berkeley, California, and I'm the president of the Link Rescue Team at UCI.
Howdy everyone, I'm Andrew from the Link Texas A&M Rescue Team, and we're all calling in here from College Station, Texas.
Hi, I'm from Dallas, Texas. My name is Sarah, and I was a former Link staffer and intern, and I started a rescue team back when I was in college, but now I'm a forever Link supporter and fundraiser.
Hi guys, my name is Esther Park, and I'm calling from LA, and I helped start the UCLA rescue team, and I was on staff for a bit, and now I'm just a forever fundraiser for Link.
Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us today. It's so great to be able to jump on a call and to see all of your faces. And thank you for tuning in tonight for our live event. I wanted to kind of drill in a little bit with one of you. So Esther, I want to ask you a couple of questions. So hi, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, good. So Esther, you mentioned you were the president of the UCLA rescue team, and you've also been a fundraising rock star with your own personal fundraising page. It's been pretty incredible to see you raise as much as you have. I mean, it's awesome and encouraging. So I'm wondering, is it true that you've personally raised about $30,000?
Yes, it is. And I guess after tonight, it will be more. But yeah, through different personal fundraisers, through Facebook fundraise, and the last one I did was in March for the LA Marathon. So that was really exciting.
That is awesome. And you ran the whole marathon?
I did. I ran the whole thing without stopping. I was thinking of the North Korean people the whole time.
That's amazing. Wow. You know, it's so incredible. I mean, not just running the marathon, but that you have been able to raise so much money to support the work that we're doing. So I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what motivates you to raise all this money.
Well, obviously, the obvious answer is that the North Korean people, they motivate me. They are so resilient, and I've been able to meet a lot of North Korean refugees, and they've become my friends, and they're amazing. And so I'm just waiting for the day that we can all party together in one Korea.
That's awesome. Esther, you are so amazing. Thank you so much for what you have done, for the incredible fundraising and the creative ways in which all of you guys are really repping Link in your campuses, with your chapters, and for really standing with the North Korean people. We are so inspired and so incredibly grateful for everything that you all do for our North Korean friends. I wish we had more time to chat, but gotta go get ready for this event tonight. So I can't wait until we can all celebrate someday together in North Korea, guys. Thank you so much for being with me, and see you tonight. Okay, now it's time to meet another one of our North Korean friends. Min Sung is a dear friend that we've known for 10 years. He was part of one of Link's first rescue missions, reaching freedom in 2010.
북한에 있을 때는 이제 자유라는 단어는 알고 있었는데 자유라는 이제 정확한 뜻은 잘 모르고 있었던 것 같아요. 안녕하세요. 저는 민성이라고 하고요. 저는 10년 전에 링크의 도움으로 한국에 정착하게 되었습니다. 북한에서는 이제 서로가 서로를 믿기 어려운 사회이죠. 왜냐면 제가 한 말이 또 다른 사람으로 인해서 다른 데 옮겨져 가고 정부에 이제 반대되는 말이면 이제 위험할 수가 있으니까 좀 많이 그 누구를 믿을 수가 없는 것 같아요. 중국에서 이제 또 지인의 소개로 링크를 만나게 됐는데 처음에 이제 개인적인 생각으로는 많이 의심도 해보고 왜 나를 도와주지? 또 제가 뭐 그 사람들한테 돈을 낸 것도 아닌데 왜 도와주지? 이런 생각을 많이 했었는데 또 이동 과정에 있어서 그 사람들이 너무 잘 챙겨주셔서 너무 따뜻한 마음을 느낄 수 있었고 또 너무 감사했던 것 같아요. 마지막까지 저희를 잘 챙겨주시고 또 링크를 만났기 때문에 지금 한국에 잘 정착할 수 있었던 것 같아요. 처음에 한국에 왔을 때 처음에 와서 일을 시작했는데 일할 때 좀 많이 어려움이 있었죠. 한국이랑 이제 북한이 좀 말이 약간 좀 다르다 보니까 이제 다른 사람들의 말을 이해하는데도 좀 어려움이 있었고 또 문화에도 좀 문화에 익숙해지는 어떤 어려움도 있었던 것 같아요. 그래도 뭐 지금은 잘 적응을 해서 잘 살고 있는 것 같아요. 지금은 이제 서울에서 한 3시간 떨어진 곳에 대안학교에 가서 아이들 가르치는 일을 하고 있어요. 저는 항상 가는 이유가 아이들을 가르침으로 인해서 제게 되게 기쁘고 행복한 것 같아요. 되게 처음에는 영어 배우는 입장에서 또 이제 가르치는 입장이 됐는데 참 자신한테 좀 뿌듯한 것 같아요. 뿌듯하고 또 어떻게 하면 제가 잘 가르칠 수 있을까 이런 생각도 해보고 이제 다양한 봉사활동이라면 이제 북한 분들이 여기 정착하실 때 정착을 잘할 수 있게 도와드리는 프로그램도 좀 했었고 또 크게는 이제 아프리카에 가서 아프리카의 어려운 아이들 가르치고 또 같이 놀아주고 하는 봉사 프로그램을 했었어요. 항상 도움을 줄 때 뿌듯함이 뭐였냐면 아이들이 너무 행복하게 잘 놀 때 북한에서는 이제 다른 사람의 자유를 위해서 제가 일할 수가 없어요. 왜냐면 정부의 억압이 있기 때문에 제 자유조차도 지킬 수 없는 곳이었어요. 근데 아직 북한에도 많은 사람들이 자유를 누릴 권리는 있지만 그 자유를 못 누리는 사람들이 많은 것 같습니다. 북한에도 우리와 같은 사람들이 많이 있다는 걸 알아주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 자유는 다른 사람의 자유를 위해서 일할 수 있는 것입니다.
Minsung's story gives me the chills. I'll never forget the first time I met him. It was about 10 years ago in China. Minsung had just left North Korea days before we met. He made the dangerous escape in order to pursue his freedom, but it still weighed heavily on his heart that his family remained in North Korea and he didn't know if he would ever see them again. During those few days we spent together, he was so curious about my iPhone and would play around with it every chance he got. I could have never imagined that just a few years later, he would come to California to participate in coding boot camp and then go on to graduate from college with a degree in mechanical engineering. I am so proud of Minsung and am inspired by the ways he is passionately fulfilling his potential and pursuing his dreams. All right, so it's been a while since we've checked in on our progress, and I'd like to give us a quick update. So you all have been incredibly generous. Not only have we surpassed the $50,000 match, we have raised more than $100,000 on the live stream, baby. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Edward and Belinda, Kevin, Martin, Christine, Amanda, Megan Rhodes, so many alumni of Link are contributing. So far together, we have raised over $374,000. And if you're asking yourself, how do I give tonight? It's incredibly easy. There's a donate button on the page. Click the button, put in your information, and remember, $3,000 saves a life, $2,000 provides COVID relief, and $1,000 can help move North Korean refugees through the red zone, one of the most dangerous parts of the journey. And of course, we have to announce some raffle winners. And so congratulations to Ariel Choi and Erica Wong for being the first two individuals to win some awesome Link swag bags. We are well on our way to dominating the East Coast last week. Let's keep it up. We've got $100,000 to go. I'm confident we can do it before the live stream is over. Otherwise, we're keeping you all on this live stream until we hit it. All right, so the last North Korean friend we'll be meeting tonight is Kyung. She was also rescued through Link's network of secret rescue routes, and she resettled in South Korea in 2011. If you're not feeling inspired yet, which is, I think, impossible, I think her story will change that.
제가 어떻게 해야 합니까? 근데 나는 꿈을 꾸고 싶고 내가 원하는 것들을 이루면서 살고도 싶은데 근데 또 가족도 버리고 싶진 않은데 어떻게 할까요? 하다가 결국에는 꿈과 자유를 선택을 했거든요. 안녕하세요. 저의 이름은 강수경이고 저의 고향은 북한 양강도 김정숙군입니다. 북한 정권은 이제 우상화로서 어떤 신격 체제로서 이제 북한 사람들을 컨트롤하고 사실 북한은 성경에서 많은 걸 뺏겨왔거든요. 그리고 복음이라는 거는 모든 사람에게 자유를 준다고 저는 생각을 해요. 근데 북한의 정권의 그 시스템은 그 자유를 억압하고 사람들이 생각을 하지 못하게 하고 그래서 진짜 그냥 기본적인 욕구, 먹고 자고 안전하고 그 기본적인 욕구도 채워 충족이 되지 않게 거기에만 이제 집중하게 만들거든요. 사실 기독교인을 제일 탄압을 하거든요. 그래서 심하면 그냥 총살을 하기도 하고 또 정치범 수용소라는 데 잡혀서 저희 삼촌은 이제 선교사셨고 북한에서 이제 하나님을 믿는 분이셨어요. 그래서 자신의 목숨을 전부를 걸고서 오늘을 마지막같이 살았던 분인데 그래서 저는 이제 삼촌이 선교사 일을 하다가 한번 감옥에 가셨던 적이 있거든요. 그래서 사실 저는 집에서 그냥 되게 온실 속의 하초처럼 자라다가 처음으로 도시락을 들고 감옥에 삼촌한테 면회 가고 이제 그러면서 그냥 북한의 진짜 세상을 보게 됐었어요. 그러면서 생명을 전제로 이제 목숨을 걸지 않고 자유롭게 믿고 싶었었어요. 그리고 저는 2011년 17살에 탈북하였어요. 중국에서 리크 파트너를 이용해서 연결을 받아서 따라서 이제 동남아로 갔고 또 한국에서 내가 원하는 대로 찬양하고 예배하고 막 자유라는 것이 너무 감사하면서 되게 감사했던 마음이 제일 컸던 것 같아요. 저는 이제 한국에 그냥 왔다고 생각하지 않아요. 북한의 문이 열렸을 때 준비되어서 그것을 다시 세울 수 있는 사람이 되는 거고 또 그것을 위해서 이제 미국에 가서 또 대학원 공부를 하고 또 한국과 북한과 미국을 이제 연결할 수 있는 어떤 통로, 네트워크를 만들고 싶어요. 그래서 지금은 그것을 위해서 준비하고 있고 그것이 저의 비전입니다. 자유란 나의 믿음을 말할 수 있는 것입니다.
For so long, the stories that have flooded our TV screens and news feeds about North Korea, it's focused on nuclear weapons, missiles, and of course, Kim Jong-un. And these headlines have made North Korea seem hopeless, as if progress is impossible, that it can't change. But if you know Link, you'll know that we refuse to accept that. We're here tonight because of these stories, the stories of the North Korean people, the incredible ways that they are overcoming a brutal and repressive regime, and the unexpected ways that they are driving change. You know, like most movements, it started slowly. A few people inside the country illegally selling goods. Unofficial markets are expanding. Outside information is coming in. Foreign media is spreading, and the images from Hollywood films and South Korean dramas are showing the North Korean people the reality of life outside of their country and the freedom they've been denied. North Korean officials take bribes instead of following orders. The people are voting with their feet and defecting. North Korean refugees are sending money and information inside of the country and empowering their families. It is the North Korean people who are shaking up the status quo, exposing the limits of the regime's control, and eroding the government's power, and it cannot be reversed. It's impossible to know exactly how quickly and on what pathway this change is going to continue, but after working on this issue for 16 years, I truly believe that we will see a transformation of North Korea in our lifetime. So when we invest $3,000 in the rescue of one North Korean refugee and support them in their resettlement, we are not only investing in their escape, but also in their potential as an agent of change on this issue. And this is a role that only they can play. You know, about 50% of North Koreans actually reestablish contact with their families after they've arrived in South Korea, and they send money back inside. This money empowers their families with the resources they need to change their own situation. It enables their families to protect themselves, to buy foods and goods, and ultimately increase their independence apart from the regime. Every year, North Korean refugees are sending millions of dollars into their home communities, and they're making thousands of phone calls back home, connecting the most closed society in the world with the outside reality. So, it begins with a rescue, but it continues as the North Korean people, both inside and outside of the country, are empowered to play a critical role in helping to accelerate change. Together, we are working tirelessly toward the day when the North Korean people have achieved their freedom and can finally return home to see their families. Helping more people reach freedom, thrive in their new lives, and become an agent of change is one of the most practical and impactful things that we can do. I want to share a bold vision and a belief that there is a day that is coming when every North Korean man, woman, and child will live free and full lives. When North Koreans can freely travel the world and we can also freely visit North Korea. When students can choose what they want to study and teenagers can enjoy foreign music and movies without fear of punishment. When men's lives won't be based on loyalty to a ruthless regime and women can speak freely for justice. When the North Korean people achieve their liberty and the end of their isolation from the rest of humanity. Tonight, we have the opportunity to stand in solidarity with the North Korean people in their pursuit of freedom. Our goal is to raise $1 million across our two events, and we are so close. We're asking everyone watching to give whatever you can to invest in the protection and the potential of the North Korean people. And for those of you who have already given, thank you so much. You bring so much hope to our North Korean friends. They are constantly inspired by all of you and are blown away to know that there are thousands of people around the world who believe in them. You know, during our event last week, one of our North Korean friends who was tuning in said that he had no idea that so many people cared. Thank you for your support and for standing with the North Korean people. It truly means so much. As we wrap up this evening, I want to introduce you to our final guest. Now, he's someone very special to me and has become like my little brother. He was part of a small group of young North Koreans and the first group of refugees that Link assisted in reaching the United States. We met in 2007, shortly after he resettled, and I know that the first time we met, I overwhelmed him. Well, I probably scared him with my enormous bear hug. I've had the privilege to see him grow up, learn English, struggle through adolescence, graduate from high school, move to New York City, where he juggled part-time jobs, attended classes, and even participated in an elite fellowship program. He shared his story on the TED stage and went on to write a memoir about his life, which is called Under the Same Sky, and I highly recommend it. He received a full scholarship to Bard College and graduated in 2018. But despite all of these accomplishments, what I am most proud of is the person that he is. Not only who he has become, but who he has always consistently been. He's thoughtful, compassionate, he's bright, resilient, and determined, regardless of the unspeakable things that he's had to witness and experience in his young life. He once told me that one of the things that he thought about often was the day when he would be able to go back to North Korea. If a North Korean child were to ask him, "What have you done with your life?" he said that he would like to be able to answer that although he wasn't perfect, he tried to spend his life changing North Korea and helping the North Korean people. And he has done exactly that. He's my brother from another mother, and we are so lucky to have him here with us tonight. Please help me welcome Joseph Kim.
Thank you, Hannah, for that very kind word. The bear hug was scary, but I think having a real sister is a bit more scary. She, time to time, reminds me that I have to eat more vegetables, which I'm not sure about that. Hello, everyone. I know that you could be somewhere else, but instead, you chose to join us tonight. And I greatly appreciate your presence. In the late 1990s, nearly 3 million people died of starvation from the famine in North Korea. My father was one of them, and I was only 12 years old. My sister was sold to a man in China. It has already been 18 years, and I still don't know who that man is or where she is. My mother was caught trying to escape to China and was sent to prison. I went from having a loving family to being homeless. I did everything a 12-year-old could do to stay alive: begging, stealing, and even working in coal mines. 3 years later, I escaped from North Korea and made it to China. I slept in the mountains and went to towns begging for food to survive. One day, I was crossing a bridge in Yanji. It started to snow, and everyone started walking fast. I remember being so envious because walking fast must have meant they had a home they were rushing to. I too wanted to walk fast, but I had nowhere to go to. Today I have a place to call home, a place to quarantine, a place that is safe. But I'm reminded that there are so many people, North Korean escapees in China today, who still do not have a place to call it home. I have had the opportunity to experience life with and without freedom. And the freedom I enjoy today has been hard-earned. But I believe that the best way to protect my freedom is to share it with people who are not yet free. North Korea may seem like an impossible issue sometimes. Then again, few would have said that a 12-year-old could have survived a famine. I fought hard, but I couldn't make it alone. Even tonight, the North Korean people are fighting hard to protect a hope that tomorrow will be better. But hope alone is not enough. We have the power to turn that hope into a reality. I was one of the first groups to be rescued by Link, and I would not be standing here tonight if it wasn't for people like yourself who supported Link. Thank you for continuing to support and believing in Link. Because of you, one day more North Korean refugees like me will live in freedom. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Video.
Hi, this is PK from LA. I've been proudly supporting Link from the very beginning. Freedom is many things. One aspect of freedom is being able to make fun of your government without facing repercussion. That includes through all different types of comedy, through stand-up comedy, to be able to keep your leaders accountable without facing repercussion. Thank you, Link, for all you do.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Dallas, Texas, and freedom to me is being able to go to law school and study what I'm interested in, but also to take a day off to relax by the pool.
Hi everyone, my name is Jin Choi. I came from North Korea. I currently live in California now. Freedom to me is opportunity to access my dreams, my education, and express my opinion. Thank you.
Wow, we're almost at the end. Can you believe it? I would love to hang out together for a few more hours, but all good Zoom calls must come to an end. What's that? This isn't Zoom? Oh, well, this has to come to an end. Tonight, drinks are on us in your living room because we have surpassed our $500,000 goal, and so far, almost 600 people have given to raise $504,000. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. We also have some comments from online, others chiming in, sharing with us what freedom means to them. Elizabeth Lee says, freedom is Harry Potter marathons whenever she wants. Brandon E says, it's being able to eat breakfast for dinner. And I say it's donating to help more North Korean refugees reach freedom. So with that, I want to thank you. And we have our final raffle of the evening. This is the glorious Link swag bag. And we have 3 winners for this. It's Pamela Liu, Jean Home, and Allison Cho are our 3 raffle winners for the evening. So again, thank you so much. Although we have crushed our goal, let's keep crushing it. Let's keep sharing our fundraising pages. Let's tell our friends and family what we have learned this evening and share the video with them. Thank you for taking the time out of your night to join us. We know 2020 has been a tough year. We are so incredibly thankful that you joined us here to celebrate and to give and to empower others. On behalf of myself and the entire Link team, thank you so much and have a good night. Come on, guys, and let's celebrate our victory. Woo-hoo! Absolutely, we'll drink to this. Drinks on us, baby. Yeah, cheers.
And I am a big supporter of Link. To me, freedom is the ability to be able to express myself and to pursue my passions.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Dallas, Texas, and freedom to me is being able to go to law school and study what I'm interested in, but also to take a day off to relax by the pool.
Hi, I'm Guilherme from Brazil, and freedom for me is to be able to share my faith without being persecuted for that reason.
Hi, this is Alex from Run River North, and freedom is my favorite line in the movie Braveheart.